Good evening. Welcome to Options Center. It is Sunday night, 10/9/22. Welcome everybody. If you're new here, go down to that bottom right hand corner, hit that Options Center logo and subscribe. We're going to go up on ES and check out multiple time frames to see where we think the market is going. And if you follow this channel, you know that it is bearish as can be. Now there's two bearish scenarios that I'm really looking at, I'm keying in on, and I'll give you the slight bullish one as well, just so we don't have to be too biased in this. But I'm pretty confident in what we do, but we're traders, so we have to follow price action only. Okay, we have ES, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you can get these videos every time we put them out. And I should do probably, I want to do them often this week, because this week and next week are so crucial in the intermediate term to see where we're going. Okay, ES on the monthly, stop jabbering around. We have the 8 EMA, that's our trending indicator. On the monthly time frame, we're trending to the downside. We had a consolidation area here. We broke down from it, retested, and are rejecting to the downside. We have this 50 underneath. We broke up, had a bounce to the upside before we got to it, so it no longer is kind of as valid. So I don't see this 50 and this 50% retracement being a huge bounce area. Will we get some sort of reaction from it? I do think so, but I think we kind of react off it and start heading lower, and probably more rapid. So the MACD is headed down, bearish. RSI down, bearish. Everything is bearish on the long-term time frames. And on that weekly, changing boards here. On the weekly time frame, after falling out of that huge rising wedge, we have a lower low, lower high, lower low in one series here. And then we had a large retracement, and starting off this second series, we are making lower highs, lower lows. That's considered a downtrend, you guys. So this last week, we had a huge bounce, and you can call it a graveyard doji, you can call it whatever you want. We bounced off the 200 simple moving average, but I don't see that holding. We reversed off of the 8 EMA, that trending indicator for us on the weekly as well. So coming into this confluence area, we already had our reaction. I do think we start to break down from this point, and that can be as early as Monday or tomorrow, throughout the day, to break down into this. I'll show you. So we have this area here on the 3,500 approximately, and I think we're going to try to break down from there in the beginning of the week and get ourselves into this bounced area. We have a very solid support and resistance area here. So once we get through there, that's kind of our bouncing point there. Are we going to bounce back and forth, or are we just going to accelerate through these? That's a whole nother question. That it's very possible, now that we're in this second series of series 1, and then we had our bounce. Now this series 2, I got alerts going off at night, huh? It's not looking good. Headed to the downside, and I don't believe our bounces are going to be very significant. So just following price action, it's not looking good. We're probably going to start heading into this area here. Now, we may get some sort of bounce off of this support, but then we'll look again lower for lower prices. Ultimately, if you watched my video from Friday, you'll know that we're looking really in the near term, near to intermediate term, at this 2,400 area. The 2,400 would be our extension from this wave 1. If you're into Elliott waves, this is a wave 1, 2, and a larger move down to typical 1618 down to the 2,400 area. So it may just start to slice through these price levels. We'll just have to watch to see what kind of action we get throughout this and next week. If it starts waterfalling, then that 2400 area should be, we may just, might break right through it and then pop back up. And once you recover from that large area of interest, then that would be our reversal signal to say that we're going to get some sort of bounce. But do I think it's the end of the move down? I don't think so, but that I don't want to get too far ahead. But once we get down to this area, we're probably going to have a time wise a large correction before heading down lower. Okay, it's such a big week, you guys. So I may talk a lot. I'm not trying to waste your time. We just have a lot of things going on. So this is our daily time frame. We're really looking for this target really soon here, either Monday or Tuesday, down to the 3,500 area. That's our first target. And I do believe, we may see that when we wake up. But once we get there, maybe we get a small reaction to bounce and then start heading lower. I'm probably not going to play too many bounces here. It's not the time to do it. This is actually something you're looking forward to as a trader. These types of moves, this should be pretty rapid. It should be pretty intense. Into this, I know we have a lot of news going on, but all of the news points down lower. So any surprises with CPI or even earnings coming up, the surprises should be to the downside. This is a bear market. Everything after bounces, especially, I would expect, suspect that we start moving to the downside or gap down, and that's how we've been playing it this whole time. So, all right, not much more on this daily. If we start breaking these lows, price could start accelerating a little bit faster, but we'll have to see how it takes it. We may get a bounce overnight. Let me go down to the 65-minute chart. We did gap down on the opening, but we gapped down. Problem is we gapped down underneath this support area. So do we get back over it and close the gap before heading down? There's a chance that we don't. So I did press harder on my futures trades, some options futures trades to the downside, because I'm not worried if we do actually bounce up. It's not going to be a very large bounce. So even if I do, it's a weekly, we'll start heading lower anyway. So that's how I'm playing this one. The setup is there. We're down below. But if we, I got my alert set. If we break above 3640, I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting out of my positions or anything. Now, if we start breaking over levels like 3,700, that's a whole different ball game. And then we may have this wrong, meaning that this would be our first impulsive move up, and that this would be a retracement and we start heading higher. That would be the bullish scenario that I was talking about earlier in the video. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's what we're going to keep in the back of our mind if we start breaking over 3,700. Now, as for the two bearish scenarios, let me pull back a little bit in the time frames, and this will be on my Elliott wave counts. That's on my Patreon if you'd like to join that. But this would be our 1, 2, 1, 2. I know I'm telling you, but and this now starts our wave 3. Once we start breaking down from here, you know what? Let me scratch that. Let me put this in easier terms here. Some people are looking for this to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move down, and then we start heading to the upside. Others, for a bounce, not for new highs. Others, myself, this is just a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup where we go much, much lower and probably start to accelerate. That's a simple way to put the two bearish scenarios. And then I'll repeat the bullish scenario, and that would be that we already made our move to the downside. We're testing those bottoms, and this would be a 1, to, or an AB, and we start moving to the upside a little bit further, a little bit more bullish scenario. All of them are bearish, but that would be our little bit more bullish scenario. And we're already breaking through support levels. I just don't see that happening unless we start cracking above, and then 37 would be my breaking point at that. But the support here, and we can go back out to the daily, and a lot of you are probably going to start saying, hey, well, we have a wedge forming, um, we have support underneath, you have these types of things. You can move it up there, you can move it down here, but the fact is this is heading down, and I think we're gonna start testing even lower there, and probably even break below. So it's just we're not even close to where we're supposed to be. Okay, in the scenario that I'm looking at. All right, so but we'll watch price action, and if we just have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we start bouncing off this 3,500 area, and we start to correct from there, then so be it. But we start cracking this 3,500, and then we're really looking into trouble here, and that's a big support. 3,500, we get under there, we'll work our way in this area, and then we have probably further to go from there. But then we'll revisit this and say, hey, we're underneath the 35, we're coming to support. If we start breaking above 3,500, then that move is probably over. So that's how we trade. We go level to level. I will update you. I'll try to do it tomorrow. No specific time. I'll probably be random, either night, morning, something like that. But still very, very bearish. We're in a downtrend. We're making new lows, making lower highs. So don't get caught with the bulls, you guys. Don't get caught running with the bulls. Don't forget to like these videos if this helps you out. This is we want to get this out to as many traders as possible so they can ride the trend in the correct way and make some money. So thanks for joining us here at Options Tenor, and have a wonderful rest of the night, and good luck trading.